Okay, so here we are in Fusion 360, and the last thing that I did was I created this beautiful rendered view of my mood light without LEDs illuminated inside. So what I'm now going to do is look at how I can add those LEDs and make them shine. So let's go back here to the design view, and what I'm now going to do is take off the acrylic window there at the front, the frosted acrylic window. I think I might take the body away as well, actually, and let's just make the sketches visible. Okay, so there's my sketch. And what I need to do with this is add in some lights, and I'm going to add those lights, I think, to the same sketch. I'm just trying to think how I can do this. Yeah, okay, I'll add it in as the same sketch. There may be an easy way of doing this. No, I'll keep it simple. Okay, so let's just right click on the sketch here. Let's go to edit sketch, and what I'm going to do is no, we'll do it as a new sketch because there's so many things happening here. Let's do it as a new sketch. So new sketch here, which is going to be on, let's just make sure I get the right plane here, which in my case is going to be on this front work plane, and if I bring that previous sketch in again, yeah, that's looking fine. But I've got all the dimension lines disappeared. That's going to be a little bit easier for me to work with, and I can turn the old sketch on and off. Let's also just name this LEDs. So what I did there was I just clicked, I basically selected and then clicked on the text to be able to change it. I haven't changed the sketch there, have I? I'll let you do that. Just for speed, let's keep going. Let's now get a rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw a little rectangle. I'm snapping onto the grid there, but I don't think it matters too much for this. I just want to generally get some LED lights down there. And I'm going to make these 3 by 3 millimeters. So I've used the number pad there to dial those in, and the tab key to change between the X and Y dimension coordinate, and I'm going to press enter. So there's my little LED light, and now what I'm going to do is make several of these. So to do that, I'm going to select those LED lights. I'm going to go to create, and I'm going to go to rectangular pattern, and I'm going to drag this up. So what we can see here is that I'm starting to get a number of LED lights, and I've got 3 at the moment. Now I actually have identified in my actual light that I need 8 such lights running up the left hand side here of my A. So I'm going to dial in 8 onto this dialog box here, and I've also calculated that each LED light is roughly 15 millimeters apart. So I'm going to dial in here negative 120 because 8 times 15 is 120. Okay, use a calculator if you need to. And I'm going to confirm that, and let's just zoom out here and see what I've got. There we are, 8 LED lights all in a row. Now I need to move these and angle these so they fit within the A. So I'm going to click and drag and select them all. I'm going to press the M key on the keyboard to move them, and I can now translate these around in the X or the Y, or I can free move with this square here. I can also rotate as well. But look what happens when I rotate. Something very strange goes on. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to just cancel that move, and I'm going to zoom in down here, and I can see that I've got some constraints. And the constraint that's causing me the problem is this one here. This is a rectangular pattern constraint, which means that as I rotate these, it forces them all to stay in this rectangular vertical profile, and I don't want that to be the case. So I'm going to select that constraint. I'm going to press delete on the keyboard. That's now gone. And if I zoom out, I select all these LED lights again. I press the M key, and I now rotate them. They will all, oh, that's move, rotate them, they will all move as desired. And I can now drag this in, and I'm going to try and get this looking pretty much as accurate as I can. And I'm kind of going to go, I think, with that. That looks nice. Okay, right, so I'm going to just OK that, and there's my first set of LED lights. Now, actually, I need to do more LED lights that look like this. And thinking about it, what I should have actually done is taken these, select them all, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and look, now I've got those lights. And I don't have to worry about drawing more little mini LEDs and doing rectangular arrays and all that jazz. So let's just confirm that OK. And then now I want to have some lights here, and I know I want to have 3 running across the bar of the A. So, let's select those 3 there, copy, Control C, paste, Control V. Let's move them away and OK that. And then I want to have another 3 down here, so let's do the same again. I'm going to select these, Control C, Control V, OK, and then maybe I want to have just like 2 down here. I'm not too sure, so let's just take those 2. In fact, no, I don't have any down there in my case. I've actually got some at the top, actually. So I'm going to take those 2, Control C, Control V, and I think I'm going to pop those down there. So now I've got all my LED lights lined up. I can now select these, M for move, bring them across, rotate them around, and pop them where I want them. Now they're actually going to go around about there, because then what I have, let's just confirm that, okay, then I'm going to have these LED lights move. Now I've got in my light these looking like that. Then I've got, so okay to finish, make sure you always complete the move there. Then I've got these, bring them across. These are actually going down here. Now I feel as if, if I just have a quick look at my light here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, I've actually only got 7 lights there, not 8. So actually what I'm going to do there is confirm this. I'm going to select that last one, I'm going to press the delete key and get rid of it. Then I've got these here, M to move again. Let's rotate these around, and let's bring these into here. That's looking nice. And then, oh, careful, click on OK to finish, thank you very much. And then here, move, rotate 90 degrees, and then bring those down to there. So that basically is what I've got in my mood light. Okay, so it's a little bit of a gap here, but I'm trying to recreate exactly what I've got. Notice now it's quite difficult to select those, but if I select them with a bounding box and then shift select to delete, whoops-a-daisy. Can I do that again? Can I select those and then shift? No, it's not going to let me do that. Can I select those and then control select? No, okay. So I would have to basically, interesting. Shift, yeah, no, it's going to be a real hassle to do that. So if that happens, I'd want to delete that one, I feel. I'd have to delete that, then move them, and then kind of bring that back in again. So I'm not going to worry about it. Interesting all the same. Right, so that's looking great. Let's just stop the sketch there. And what I need to do now is make these little lights actually project out of the 3D model that's currently there. So let's actually select all these little lights. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is do an extrusion. No, not a press pull. An extrusion first. And it says select what I want to extrude. So let's zoom in here, and I'm going to basically zoomed in. No, I don't want that. I want, dear me, it's having a bit of a freak out there, isn't it? There we are, that's what I want. Okay, and I'm going to have to very carefully kind of work my way all the way around the design, making sure that I select the LED lights. There, thank you. It looks like I have to go kind of against the edge there to make that work. So, okay, if I zoom in again, I might get more control. That's been a real pain. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pause the video and try to finish off selecting all these shapes. I know what I need to do here. Why don't I just turn that sketch off? Genius! And all I need to do is just select them all. But look, but the ones that were selected have been deselected. So I'm going to escape that. Okay, turn that sketch off. Extrude. Click and drag a bounding box. Brilliant. And I'm going to set this to a distance of 3. And my thinking here is that I'm actually going to be building this from the back face of the original 3D print. So to show you what I mean, what I'm going to do here is go to Visual Style and Wireframe with Hidden Edges. And I'm going to turn on the original sketch, and I'm going to turn on the original bodies, and you'll see what's happening here. Now let's have a look from the side. And look, they're building out because of course I'm adding positive 3mm, and I want to put this to a -3, so it's coming towards me in this particular model. Bit strange, but hopefully you can see here that these lights, look, they're just going to peek out by just 0.5 millimeter in front of the current 3D model. And in fact, if I come back to the TV screen here, Visual Style, and put this to shaded with visible edges only, then and turn off the window, then now you can see how those little lights are just peeking out. And the final thing I need to do here, I can see they're pink, which means the computer thinks I want to cut them out. I'm going to make like a polka dot design. In fact, let's just see how that looks. If I click on OK there, look, I've got lots of little LED holes in my lights, which is looking quite cute, but that's not what I want. And to modify this, I can just right click on this feature, edit feature, and I want to change it from cut to new body, and then, no, join. I'll do join. Okay, because if I do new body, I'm going to get stacks of new little bodies in here. No, I'm going to join it to the existing body 1, confirm, and then that now means that those LED lights are all parts of body 1, but I can also see as well here that they're actually little extruded squares or cubes coming out of that back face. So I've not bothered, whoops, what happened then? I've not bothered putting on the actual LED strips or the wiring. I just want to represent the little glowing LED lights. Okay, so we're almost there, folks. Now what I'm going to do is go to render, and let's have a look what I'm going to do in here. The acrylic window's disappeared, and what I need to do is apply an LED texture to all of these lights. So to do that, I'm going to go to the appearance option, and I'm going to do a search in the library here for LED. And you'll notice that in my standard appearances library there's nothing, but in this extended library I have got some LED lights. And I am actually going to go with the first one here, which is a low luminosity white LED. And I'm going to drop that onto 1 if I can. Now look, it's not letting me drop it, and the reason for that is because I'm currently trying to apply that to an entire body. That would mean my entire 3D print will be glowing like an LED. Now I don't want that. I want to just apply this to one of the faces, the front faces of one of these LED lights. So with the faces radio button selected, let's try that again. I'm going to drop it in, and fingers crossed, come on, come on. Gosh, it's going to be fiddly here. You know what? I'm going to zoom in. Let's zoom in here onto one of these, and let's try that again. Yes, and there I have got one LED light, yes. And I need to now continue. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to continue to use this one here. And I need to continue now dropping this onto all of my little LED lights. They're so cute. Now, rather than bore you with the process, and I can see here that I can't access these because this wall of the 3D print is causing me a problem. I'm now going to pause the video, and we will pick up the pace when I've got all my little lights illuminated. So, see you in a second. So I've almost finished my lights. Look, they're looking rather nice there. I've got one more to do, which I think is this one over here. Please work. Yes, okay, and those are all my little LED lights illuminated. Looking really cool. So let's just try and get my A kind of positioned again. Whoops, okay, sorry, I hadn't confirmed that dialog box. Let's just get the zoom view here, so I've got my A looking really cool in 3D. I want to be able to see those lights. That's looking kind of cool. I like the way that these are slightly obscured, and these are slightly obscured. There's a bit of a, nice 3D effect there. Okay, I am happy with that. Let's bring in my acrylic window. Let's turn off the sketches there. So that's looking pretty nifty. And I am now going to go ahead and try and render this again. So let's save it first. So File, Save As. Let's call that version 3. Okay, and let's now go to render. So, I just got to try that again. So render, here we go. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to go for slightly higher resolution. I'm going to dial in a number here. I'm going to go for 1080 because that is the height of a full HD screen, and it shouldn't take too long either. Local render again, standard quality. I'm just going to try and keep this this fairly fast. I've got my 1:1 ratio. It's going to be PNG, picture network group lossless image. Okay, let's go ahead and do a render and see what we get. Now, maybe what I'm going to do is show you how I can check progress using Task Manager. So what I'm going to do is press Ctrl-Alt-Delete on the keyboard and go to Task Manager, which then shows me this here. And what this is showing me, and I've clicked on CPU because that gives me which applications in my operating system are using the most processing power. And I can see here that Fusion 360 is using 50% of the processing power. For good performance, I can see that I have got the CPU rattling away quite a lot here. I'm surprised it's not on 100% all the time. But there you go. So I can see that this is rendering. Something is happening. And I can also see physically here on my computer the hard disk light is flashing too. So if the computer sort of just locks up and you're scratching your head thinking, what's going on? Do I have to render again? Pause, Control-Alt-Delete, check out Task Manager and see what Fusion 360 is doing. So I'm going to pause the video at this point and hopefully we'll come back as soon as this has finished rendering and see what we get. Okay, so there we go. The render's finished. I can see that Fusion 360 has gone down to what? That's like 0.1% of CPU power, so I know it's finished. And down here, yep, I can see there's my finished rendering. And that looks so cool. Okay, I'm going to download that right now. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the file name right now. I'm just going to do that. And let me have a quick look if I can see how that appears. There you go. This was without the LED lights, so that was looking pretty cool already, but with the LED lights and the frosted acrylic all rendered, that looks magnificent. Love it, love it, love it. So I hope that was worth the wait. Well, I had to wait about 10 minutes, but you had to wait like a few seconds and listen to my voice. So enjoy, and hopefully see you next time.